My name is Mauro Rodriguez. I am a member of the National Affairs Committee within the Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers, and I'm currently a fifth-year mechanical engineering PhD candidate at the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor. My SHPE career started when I started college. I was a freshman in college. I was a first-generation high school student, and after that, after you're first-generation high school student, you're first-generation. Practically everything else becomes first. And so, having been there in college, I was taking a chemistry exam. I remember this vividly. I was taking a chemistry exam. All these anxieties about how to do it, and trying to do my best to perform well. And I got hit with a particular phase realization, and I got hit with it just as I was taking this exam. When I realized that I made it. Right? When you're there taking the exam, this is the worst time there to hit you, because you get to reminisce. At least I got hit with the nostalgia and began to reminisce about all the people that I cared about in my family, in my community, and thinking about how society saw them on the grander picture. In the grander picture, society saw them as faceless, voiceless, and sometimes even, it came to it, meaningless. But to me, they were everything. But I had made it. It was very interesting to think about that and say, what made me so special? What great blessing, what great privilege that I had received. So it made you feel as if though I've been honored with such a great deed, but at the same time that great burden, to the point that you realize you don't have the luxury of failure. It's like, I can't fail now. There are too many sacrifices that have gone along the way for me to fail. So you gotta have to, so going through that nostalgic process and reminiscing, you kind of get into a very interesting mode of, con ganas se puede, we can do this, and I zone back into the exam. It'd be wonderful for me to tell you that I rocked the exam, I did great in taking the exam. That was not the case. 2 weeks later, the professor's outlining the test scores, and there I am, and I got hit with a really dark feeling in my stomach, like, oh wow, I got a D- after the curve. After the curve. And then you're like, I'm in trouble. How much did it, and you begin to realize, oh, did I make the wrong decision, the wrong move? And this is where I began to have my interaction with SHPE. Where I went to undergrad was the University of Illinois in Urbana-Champaign. And they have a program from the College of Engineering, their Morrill Engineering program. It's really a minority engineering program. And SHPE collaborates in that program. And they do a system of success retreat where they take the students, both black and Latinos, all into to a place called Allerton, which is a location that university owns, and they have a retreat out there. And so I went, and I said, okay, I'm in trouble. I got this exam. I did really bad, but I had already registered for this thing because I figured I might need it. So let's go out there. And we go out there 6 at night, and you start going through some workshops. And at one point, the SHPE seniors, and I knew a little bit about SHPE already. I wasn't going to get too involved at the beginning until this retreat came around. Around 11 or midnight, seniors, after the workshops are over, seniors come to the room and tell us all, the freshmen, there was around 30 of us in there, freshmen and sophomores, we're going to the woods. We get to this very large plateau. They put us in a big, massive circle, and then I remember the first SHPE informal mentor that I had. In this very moment, it's always been about these critical moments where his name was David Roman, doing great things now. He talked to me, said, I want to pass this flashlight. We're out in the middle of the night, and tell me your name, your high school, where you are from, perhaps in Illinois, very likely in Chicago, and that's where I grew up, in the south side of Chicago, and a little place called Little Village, La Villita, and so pass the flashlight to me when you went to high school, and then from there, tell me what you got on your first chemistry exam. And I was like, no, I did not do good. I don't want to talk about it. And so I'll confess to you that I lied. I lied. And so the flashlight came to me. I must have been 19 years old. I was nervous. I was very stressed and saying, okay. And I slurred all my words. I didn't take my time. I said, my name is Mauro Rodriguez. I'm from John F. Kennedy High School. And like everybody's like, where is that at? In the south side of Chicago. None of you know. Okay, it's okay. Don't worry about it. And they're like, okay, what'd you get in the exam? And I got a B-, and I passed the light right away. Just to cover up, like, make it obvious that I got a B-. And the flashlight finally gets back to David, and the first thing he says, now some of you lied to me. This is one of the things where SHPE kind of comes to the picture, this idea of the senior students providing that mentorship and positive reinforcement. Up to that moment, I had come to that realization stage of my life but I had made so many excuses. I started blaming everything as I was a first-year college student, and that emotional stress that you undergo, and saying, I have all this financial situation I have to go, I have taken out loans, I don't have the luxury of failure, and here I am failing, not just myself, but my community, my family. There are some things that are worse than death at times, it feels. And so to me, it was painful to think about that, and to think I can't fail, but I'm failing, but I can't fail. So this is the moment where David came to this critical moment and said, I want all of you to hear this, and hear this clearly from me. There's no excuse why you shouldn't get an A in this class. And he pauses. Takes around 2 seconds or so. No, 3 seconds. He lets it fit or sit in the air for a while. And everybody's like freaking out, like, what's going on? Why is it so quiet and it's dark outside? There is no reason, there is no excuse why you shouldn't get an A in this class. He says it a second time. And the third time, he pauses again, and the third time it really truly hit me because of the way he said it. He said, there is no excuse. And he was right. He was absolutely right. It began to sink in. I was blaming everything upon even my own identity, saying, oh, who could I think? I don't even belong here. The school is far more of a different ethnicity. There's very few Latinos in my university of Illinois Ranch Champaign, let alone in my program. I was like one of 4 Latinos in mechanical engineering. What possibly made me think that I could fit in? But as a result of this, I came to the second stage of transitioning from from boyhood to manhood. Reaffirmation is when it hit me. When I realized that, no, David was right. There is no excuse. And the way you surpass that point of realization and failure and that emotional stress is to realize, no, it is the things that make you great. It is the things that make you who you are, the experiences of growing up in the South Side of Chicago, growing up around an entire Mexican-American culture, and believing the Mexican-American dream. And even though you may get hit with a barrier that may realize itself to look like a Mexican-American nightmare, it is there where you have to realize, no, the dream was true. Con ganas sí se puede. With the will, it can be done. To go inside and think about who you are and say, no, the things that made you, your parents, your experiences, those things that made you great, that's the things. So go back to fundamentals. Con ganas sí se puede, and work hard. So I got zoned in from David's understanding, like, yeah, why am I going to let this 16-week course get between me and my dreams? Is that what I'm going to tell people? Mauro, you didn't achieve your dreams. Why? Because of a 16-week course? You're going to let a 16-week course get in your way? No, you're greater than that. Get the drop on all these people and show them how great you truly are because of who you are and what the experiences that shaped you. And I said, all right. So I locked in, and I had to swallow my pride and begin to take tutoring. Begin to go to tutoring and begin to work hard and gain the fundamentals and understand chemistry really well. These are some of the things that SHPE imparted upon me early on through these very informal mentorship experiences that I had in my freshman year. The moment I obtained my degree, my family was from a lower class, but in terms of my parents' background education, being, coming from Mexico and having my father having a 3rd grade education, my mother having a 6th grade education, right? But me, the moment I crossed that stage and obtained that degree and graduated successfully, this is what SHPE had imparted upon me. It's not enough to graduate. Anybody can graduate if they're stubborn enough and they're determined enough. It's about graduating successfully, meaning that by the time I graduated college, I was transitioning in a position that allowed me to have my family and me personally be permanently secured in the middle class. It's an economic, social uplift that was achieved the moment I got that degree. And so that's the first thing, to achieve success, to achieve that kind of flexibility and graduating successfully. By graduating successfully, I provide some simple metrics. I was debt-free. Having been a first generation and first student to go to college, that is very, very difficult. But SHPE took the time, my interactions with SHPE and my involvement in SHPE guided me through the informal and formal mentorship, guided me to be aware it's not enough to just simply graduate and be drowning in debt or loans. It's important to graduate successfully with being debt-free and having the opportunities towards, like you mentioned, towards advanced degrees, which I did have, and as well as being aware of industry and having those industry experiences, so that by the time I got to my senior year, having gone through internships and having gotten those experiences with research and with professors, I was able to get engaged and realize I can do more. And one of the things that I learned at the SHPE conference that SHPE is also doing is exposing me to some really painful realities. Specifically that there's not enough Latino professors or Latina professors in engineering at the college level. It's only enough to fill 2 rooms. There's around 80 Latina professors in R1 and R2 universities in engineering programs. And so when I was going through college, I was like, where are all the Latino professors at? Where are they at? And like, well, they didn't exist. Not yet. And so to me, I saw that as a great opportunity to continue to give back and provide service to my community, saying, it's funny to me, SHPE has allowed me to become the person I needed as I was going through college and through high school. And it's still helping me along the way, even now in graduate school, to allowing me to become the person I need now. So it's a very comforting and enjoyable experience that I've been able to progress about graduating successfully, given those metrics that I outlined, having the right skill sets, both being debt-free and also being prepared for the workforce, whether that be entrepreneurship, graduate school, or the industry, and then being able for me to give me the data analysis, for me to find what I value, specifically the educational setting, and then giving back through my aspirations to becoming a faculty member.